Hey, welcome to the channel, Fins and Spines. I just thought I'd go over a little bit of HoopNet, kind of how we do it, what our setup's like, because season's right around the corner. So come with me, let's go check it out. It's pretty common. I see it a lot of the guys, but I just thought I'd just show you and also kind of a comparison too on the flat net and the dog bowl type and what we saw last year. Just us, that's all I can say. But let's go check it out. All right, you're kind of your typical Promar 36-inch blue, whatever I call it, blue net. And it's, last year worked out really great. When we had a couple on the outside. I think we we saw maybe a half dozen or so, and I think we got two, that actually didn't fall off, and a couple that are the hanger-ons that we couldn't grab. Probably, to be honest, maybe one on the outside that fell off before we could get into the boat or grab it, was probably legal. So, it was kind of hard to tell. I really like them. I mean, they're a great net, no problems. You can kind of see here, blue for blue net. I'll show you here in a minute, a flat net here in a second. And I put some bolts and just some weight in there so you can kind of see it. I'll probably stand in the shadow so you can kind of see it. So it'll actually sit, boom, like that. We put the lights. We got two different types of lights, the Promar lights. We went with a different one. So I had to drill another hole. It fits in there really nice, and with these weights, it just sits like this. It bobs. And kind of one thing that I really that I saw, I didn't invent this, was the counter. I keep this thing all wrapped up on here, and it's got a little bit of weight on it, and so the float will kind of sit up, and this sits in the water, and it just makes it really clean. We run 10 nets, and we probably pull, I don't know, 6 or 7 times a night. So just having that straight up and down effect, so all we got to worry about is just grabbing the buoy. It makes it really nice, so nothing's all stretched out. We don't want to run anything over. So the other thing I kind of want to show, which I thought was kind of cool, and we fished 2 different spots, basically. One's short, 25 feet. It's probably about 20 to 18 feet. So I just interwove a rope inside the net, just so we don't have to count out with our hands what 25 feet is or whatever. We got a great gauge to kind of see where it's at, where 25 feet is. And then at the end here at 50 feet, I put another one in there too. It's just a nice indicator. I've tried black and permanent marker, all that. It just kind of rubs off and you can't really see it. But that little tag in, it doesn't interfere with anything when you're pulling the net, so it makes it really nice. Every once in a while, we went to like a heavy duty Velcro strap, and it just makes it, it doesn't come apart. We've tried zip ties, but you end up going through 1,000 zip ties, and it's not fun. That's kind of our setup there. I've got like 75 feet, 100 feet on it, but we don't go past 50. I think maybe 55 is about the deepest we run. But we're local. We don't go to the island or anything like that. So let's talk comparison. Let's talk about what nobody talks about anymore. Let's talk about a flat net. And I know, oh my God, what? A flat net? Well, here's the deal with the flat net. Last year, and I'm just comparing it with last season. And last season we ran, if it rained out one weekend, we'd go twice the next. So we went about we went all the time, at least once a week. And like I said, if it rained out, we would go twice the next. So we had a lot of time on it. The flat net, we had the most caught in a net was in a flat net. We had the biggest of our, which isn't huge, we didn't catch any 10-pound or anything like that, in a flat net. And the flat net, really inexpensive. This isn't a Promar, this is some, I don't know what it's called, I got it off the internet. Really inexpensive. Now they do bend, and when you pull on them, probably the nice thing about them is when they get stuck. When they get stuck, and they do get stuck just like the blue nets do, you can kind of see here this rope. So that rope's pretty thin, and what we did have with one is we got one stuck, and that rope actually broke. And when it broke, I felt it pop, and the net came up. So that thinner kind of rope kind of saved us in a way, saved the net anyway. We lost, I think we lost 2 blue nets last year. I think it was 2, where the flat nets, we didn't lose any. And I have one flat net which I didn't bring out because I think I put it away upstairs, but it's bent and it's oval. It's not even hoop anymore. I don't know what to say. I know. Oh, but they will crawl out. Oh, you know, whatever. Hey, I'm just telling you what I experienced. You know, for me, we only won 3, which we could run more. It's kind of nice. There is one area that we fish that is really, really rocky, and I have it marked on the meter, and we only run those nets over that for a couple reasons. Like I said, if that rope if you pull hard enough on it and it rubs against something, it will break and pop loose, and you can grab it, you can get it back. It's 1/3 of the price of the other net, and for me, the fishability of it, I know, you know, I'm sure you could probably put a camera down there and do all that like the Promar does and says, and I'm not saying anything bad about the dog ball net. I know everybody and their brother runs it, but I have 0 issues with that net as far as running that net. If we had only 10 of those nets, like I do, I have 10 of those nets because I was going to fish with my wife, and I bought a whole bunch of those, and because the price was right. And I have 0 problem with that. You know, I guess, you know, the only reason why we run a lot of those is because everybody and their brother does. And I can see that there's some advantage to them maybe not crawling out. Definitely easier when you go to pull. You could maybe have a relaxed moment, you know, and if you slip on the rope or whatever, and they could still possibly stay in. I'm sure, and I wish I had, well, we'll have it all recorded this year, but I'm sure we've seen them pop out of there too. But on this net, you know, hey dog, on this net, there is no mistake. You have to pull fast. You have to pull hard. There's no stopping. So there's a big disadvantage with that net. You know, and that's just what I see. You know, I'm sure that everybody, oh, they're horrible, whatever. Hey, everybody has their own opinion, which is great. It makes it really fun, and I'm just telling you that, you know, don't be afraid if you can't go out and spend, you know, the money on that. Don't be afraid to actually run a flat net. You know, I know everything's kind of tight right now with fuel being $6 a gallon here in Southern California. You know, it is what it is. You know, so but I definitely would not be afraid of running that net. But that's all. You know, I'm sure you have comments. I'm sure everybody's gonna say something. And it's fine, you know, it's like, oh, they're horrible, oh, they suck, or oh my gosh, you know, but I'm just telling you from experience, for 1 year, 1 season of experience, don't be afraid to run a flat net like that. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Like, share, whatever, hit the button. I don't know what they say, but do all that for us, and we really appreciate everybody. Have a good night.